Homicide detectives in Baja California are investigating a horrific discovery. 7 bodies found inside a pickup truck near a Tijuana gas station.
We begin tonight with a travel warning for Tijuana in Baja California in the midst of spring break. U.S. officials say the concern comes over a spike in crime and kidnappings. Fox 5's Kasha Gregorczyk is live at the border in San Isidro to explain.
That is the border wall right there. That's how the actual border wall looks like here between US and Mexico. Alright, it's about to get real. About to enter Mexico. So there is basically no guards checking or anything. So I guess you just enter Mexico. Getting into Mexico is quite simple. They don't even check your passport. They don't check any documentation. You basically go straight through like a security. You just put your bag down through the machine and you just walk out. No document check, no nothing. So make sure you have your documents to go back to the United States. And don't forget it from that side because they're not checking it here. So as you come out of the border, this is where you will most likely walk out of, this is most likely where you will walk out of from the border, and then you can come just down here and then just order the taxi or order the Uber. Uber is pretty cheap out here in Mexico, so I would recommend Uber is safe. Taxis can charge you a little bit more, but you can do the Uber, and it will take you to downtown Tijuana. And so I did the Uber, I'm just waiting for it, and yeah, look at this. Mexico, first time. Downtown, and this is much more safer than some of the other areas in Tijuana. So if you do come here with a family, this would be the place where typical, like a tourist place that you would walk around and with your family. So it's a little bit more safer side. In the morning it was a little bit foggy, but now it's like more sunny. I'm gonna now look for some breakfast and try some Mexican breakfast in the morning. A lot of people speak really good English out here. It's like it's so close to the border, so close to the U.S. that a lot of people should go from here to work in the U.S. and back and forth almost every day. So I'm gonna look for some breakfast. Another thing about this place is that it doesn't accept American Express cards. So if you do have like a Visa or a MasterCard, it's most commonly accepted here. But if you do have like American Express, then consider bringing like Visa card or cash with you. So I think I've walked quite a bit now in the downtown area. Now I'm gonna go and check out some of the residential area of the city, away from the hub of this, downtown, the shops and everything. Just see how the normal day-to-day life looks like for people that live here, so close to the water. So life outside of Tijuana gets very quiet and very peaceful. Look, there is a dog sitting over there, ready to bark at me. But yeah, look at these charming houses. Quite a bit of dogs out here too. So I asked somebody out here, who lives in this area. So I asked, how much would a house cost if you were to buy one here in Tijuana? But the guy said, it depends on the zone, the location, just like any other city. Even in the US, it depends where you live in the city and the cost of the home. But what he told me is it can cost about 3 to 4 million pesos, which is like $150,000 if you were to convert it into dollars. So I mean, it's a good deal if you're from the US and you want to buy like a nice house here. Like, I mean, you look at that house up there, looks pretty good. So if you can get that in 150,000, you can buy it, and it's great. But again, it depends on the zone, depends on the city. Tijuana doesn't have that great of a reputation, I guess. It always comes in the news, but yeah, I mean, if you do get, if you want to buy it, you might want to find it in, or you want to find it in a place where it's like peaceful and not too, that's not that bad of an area, I guess. So, and I also noticed like some of these neighborhoods have these like a private, almost like a security, these blocks here, so which I guess keeps the neighborhoods safe. And a lot of dogs, and a lot of people here have like California number plates. So I guess a lot of people from California, I guess the people that are Mexican culture, buy homes here and just kind of live here. Like, I see these cars with US California number plate all over the place here. So it looks like they are living here in great numbers. Sun out here in Mexico is no joke, so you gotta come prepared with your hat. It's really hot out here. If you don't bring your hat, sunscreen, you're going to get burned. This place is quiet right now at this point. I guess more people will show up once the day starts to unfold. walking to the cultural center of Tijuana, and I got a haircut. They do a pretty good job of haircut out here in Mexico. So, and I got my sunscreen on and my hat on. This is very important out here. This seems like a more prominent and more developed part of the city where you have more big stores and, you know, just kind of big open roads and kind of markets out here. One thing I did notice in the city is a huge presence of police everywhere. So I just finished the museum of the Tijuana Cultural Museum and had a lot of good information about the geology, the nature, the history of the region, from the missionaries that came here, brought their religion, the disease that these colonists from Spain brought to this region, and how the indigenous people used to live here. So yeah, quite spectacular. Now I'm gonna head back to the border, get back into the United States. Overall, I think Tijuana is a really safe city. You know, as long as you stay away from the bad areas. You know, if you're here for travel, to explore the culture, to really meet with the people, with the local people, they're really, really like warm people, warm-hearted people. So, you know, don't look at the news. The news always tells you that Tijuana is the murder capital of the world. Not really. I had a great day today. You know, I walked the entire downtown. I went to the other areas of Tijuana, a little further away from downtown, and looked at, like, you know, looked at streets where people live. You know? And then now came to this cultural center and, you know, literally just walked throughout the town as much as I could today, starting from 8 a.m. this morning. So, yeah, time's up. I'm gonna head back to the border and get back into the Estados Unidos, aka the United States, and then we are back in California. Until next time. That is the border wall. That's the mountain. That's United States. That mountain back there, that's the border wall. So I am walking straight down here, this way, and then I'm doing the pedestrian crossing on foot to the United States. Wow, look at all these cars. It is quite difficult when you are driving and trying to get back to the US. Oh, the lines are long. Alright, so I am back in San Diego, California. I had a fantastic trip. I have a tip for you guys. If you do go to Mexico, in Tijuana, and you want to come back to the US, and if you do have like a global entry, then you can go into the Sentry lane. I didn't know that. I was standing there for about 2 hours until I asked somebody, I'm like, hey, can I go through Century Lane? I have a global entry. They said, yeah, you can just walk through. And I was like, wow, I'm standing in the sun for 2 hours in a long line on a weekend. Lesson learned. So you guys don't make that mistake. If you do have a global entry, go straight through the Century Line and it will be such a fast process. I saw people standing there for a long, long time, waiting, just to go back home. So that's one tip for you guys. Also, it feels good to be back home. And now my next plan is airport is really close by, so I like to do photography. So I'm gonna take some pictures of airplanes landing into San Diego International Airport, and then I'm gonna try to eat some good Mexican food out here in San Diego too. It's famous for it, so I'm gonna get some Mexican food, and then I will be heading back home. I might stop by Joshua Tree National Park because it comes on the way, and I still have like a day and a half left before I go back to work. So why not?